And a lot of people genuinely do. But, dude, when they go to the extreme, like 10 out of 10, a fucking modern day masterpiece, you know, it's the new Mona Lisa of video games. It's like, what are we smoking? Because obviously it's very strong. It's either the worst game in the world or the best game that's ever been made. It's either those two. And I don't think this game's great. I mean, look, I said a 7 out of 10 because for most people that's where it's going to land at the very, very, very least. But my personal score is probably a 4 out of 10 with this thing. I've already played it for 2 weeks straight. Like, there's nothing more to see within this game. But nonetheless, we do appreciate that. Phil Drake coming through. We'll keep that in the back of our noggin. Phil Drake coming through. Hell yeah, by the way, appreciate that. Phil Drake coming through.
To this game's phenomenal pacing. It understands both action and
phenomenal pacing. He literally just said the game has phenomenal pacing, and ultimately at the end of the day, I disagree. You know, Leon playing possum on that, because when you shoot the enemies in easy mode, they will react a lot better than in normal mode or hardcore or professional, because when you turn it on those modes, they turn into bullet sponge enemies, which is not in the original Resident Evil 4. It's missing game modes from the GameCube version. Mercenaries isn't out until the 7th of April. It really is so incredibly sad, but nonetheless, let's continue here to see this overall $8 super sticker. Hell yeah, by the way, appreciate that. Coming through really hard and really strong. We are live, ladies and gentlemen, out here reacting to the Skill Up review. And he's saying that this is overall a fantastic package, and it has cut content, it's censorship, it's serialized, it's missing game modes from the GameCube version. Mercenaries isn't out until the 7th of April. It really is so incredibly sad, but nonetheless, let's continue here to see this overall wrap-up from Skill Up here on this all-new edition of Resident Evil 4. Here we go.
Just because it's a remake of one of the greatest games ever made doesn't immediately guarantee it a spot on the winner's podium. Resident Evil 3 is a good example of that, though
no.
by no means terrible. Warcraft 3
Whoa.
Resident Evil 3 is a good example of that, though that was by no means terrible. Warcraft 3 Reforged is a good example of that, because that was...
Well, then how is it a good example of that?
Disaster. You can absolutely fuck up a remake
gee
or a
williker.
remaster. So yeah, good source material helps, but Capcom did not rest on the laurels of the original.
No, they took the source material and they threw it out the damn window. This has nothing to do with the original game. Nothing to do with the original game. And purists will tell you that. Okay? There's not many of them, probably less than 100 purists of RE4. But they will tell you that this is a total disgrace. It's a spit in the face to actual Resident Evil 4 fans. And maybe there's not that many. Maybe that's the truth. But the reality of the situation is that this throws the source material pretty much out the frickin' window. And holy shit, the cold front must be coming through, because that's getting a little chilly out here now.
Imagine every single inch of it, while still honoring and retaining so much of the original.
Honoring the original game. Yeah, by cutting out, how much stuff? U3 cut. Oh wait, Michael, it's in this right here. Yeah, doesn't matter. Still not in the main game. It's not Resident Evil 4. Cable cars cut. I mean, we could go on and on and on, but I've already been through the spiel 2 weeks straight, so I don't care anymore.
That is why Leon is still an alpha male action hero, but he's deeper and more nuanced and more believable.
No, he's not. He's emo. He Come on, man.
The overall skeleton of this game world is largely intact, but the presentation of each and every space has been transformed and now looks extraordinary. That is why the combat retains the same essential enemy types and weapons, but new mechanics and tweaks allow Capcom to dial the intensity of every encounter up to like 11. What a thing to have accomplished here. Look at what happens when Hollywood tries to remake or reboot films. You get this, or this. The video game industry does a much better job of this on balance, but Resident Evil 4 remake...
This is why I don't want Skill Up, dude. I mean, just the amount of... What is he even talking about?